The Westerham Branch was operational from 1881 to 1961. After closure there was an abortive plan to run the line privately. However, by 1965 it became apparent this was not going to happen. In 1966 the cutting at Chevening Halt was backfilled and the A21 Sevenoaks bypass opened, marked by the blue line on the map, thus slicing the route in half forever. In the mid to late 1970s the M25 started construction, and eventually this overlaid the formation of the railway from just west of Chevening, where it diverted from the A21, all the way through Brasted and then diverted just before Westerham station. What follows in this video is photographs taken locally on scene and also video footage taken using the aid of a drone. We start our journey at Dunton Green, which is obviously still an operational station as part of the South Eastern network. Making our way to the top of the approach road, we find ourselves at the V in the junction between the operational railway, which is to our right, and the branch which went off towards our left. Behind the parked cars on the left you can see the covered stairway which acted as the subway which went underneath the branch platform. A closer look at the covered staircase reveals this is very obviously of railway origin. The platform itself is all long gone, however the subway still remains intact and is used as a link through to a public footpath. We couldn't have a train video without seeing at least one train. So seen here passing Dunton Green is the daily Mountfield gypsum service heading northbound. Looking in a down direction towards Sevenoaks and Westerham, the branch off becomes very obvious, the line of trees being the obvious giveaway. There's nothing left of the platforms or the embankments there. The line of trees is the only obvious sign of the railway. After the line of trees, the line cut across the field, and then there is a bridge in the town which still exists, which the railway went underneath the A21 as was. The bridge at Dunton Green was built with two single span arches, although only one was ever used. The unused arch has been filled and the remaining arch used as a subway. Now on the west side of Dunton Green, looking east with the curve away from the station in front of us, the line dived under the bridges and then followed the line of trees as most disused railways do. In the horizon there you can see the M26 before it joins up with the M25, and the line of trees, as you can see, heads straight off towards Chevening and then underneath the M25 formation. Skipping forward a little way, the track bed has become now a driveway on some land. From left to right, where the car's going over, you can see Chevening Road. This is the road that Chevening Station was off. The station itself is now buried in the triangle, the nearest triangle to us, green, heading north-south. Moving on to Chevening Road, the camera here is looking horizontal, thus the apparent climb of the new flyover to go over the M25 is very much apparent, and the reason why Chevening Halt, the cutting, was backfilled. Being only a halt, Chevening only had steps from the road down to the platform, and it is estimated that they were roughly where this road sign is, although they obviously started from the original road height rather than this raised position. From left to right we have the A21, now renumbered as the M25, and then the slip road from the northbound A21 to the M25. The track bed returns as a chalky drive, and it becomes apparent how it disappears under the formation of the M25. Moving on to Brasted, there really isn't a lot to be said, unfortunately. The station site is completely obliterated by the M25. although the station master's house still does exist there, as can be seen in the right middle. Nothing is left of the station or the goods yard other than just wasteland. A closer view of the goods yard just shows there's nothing there except a mobile phone mast. This is the approach to Westerham Station, looking east towards Dunton Green, with the line of trees obviously coming away from the M25. This is where the railway takes its own formation again, and as we turn round to look toward Westerham town centre, we can see where the line of trees carries on and where it would have traversed the fields with the obvious mark and then into the urban sprawl of Westerham. The cameras now move forward to Westerham, looking east back towards Dunton Green with the obvious mark across the fields. The railway then followed along the back of the gardens for the houses, roughly following the line that the camera is now taking, straight along the middle. The funny shaped factory is an obvious giveaway as to the path of the railway, and then shortly after it took a slight right hand curve to enter Westerham Station. So the station was directly in front of where we're now looking, and where those brick buildings are now, right down there in the middle, is where the station was. In the centre of the picture, just off to the side of the road, is a large area where a car is parked. That's the old station forecourt area which still exists. Just to finish with a few photos, the local road names give away the heritage of the area. A building called Station House still stands on the site, although I'm unclear as to its original railway usage. Perhaps if you know, you could let us know in the comments. One final remnant is the base of the old goods crane, which still stands in the industrial estate.